मैंने आपको मेल कर दिया।
एयर का
सो रहे हैं क्या? सो
Hello to all.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Dr. Neeraj. Here I am on behalf of AREP and Indian Pharmaceutical Association Delhi branch. Welcome you all welcome you all to join in this webinar. I am with Dr. Pawan, coordinator for this webinar, and Mr. Pradeep Kumar Verma, coordinator for this webinar. So along with we are going to start this webinar in few seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just
Mr.
for
Pawan.
a few minutes because many people are joining right now. So they will not miss intro section. So we'll wait for a few minutes. So before we start, I request all the participants, please take care about your microphones while the session and the speakers talk. It should be on muted. So it will not distract presenter.
57 minutes. Yeah, Mr. Pawan, can you start?
Yeah. Sign confirmation from Sushant sir. Please join. Neeraj sir, I request you please mute all the participants. Then we will unmute ourselves.
Okay, I will do.
Yeah. Mute on entry. One more option is there. So, okay. Just I need confirmation whether Sushant sir is joining or not.
Pawanji, I will transfer my hosting right to you. You just make unmute them because I am sharing the screen. That option is
Okay.
not reflecting here.
Okay, sir.
Okay, unmute all.
हाँ जी, हाथ छोड़ो।
प्रिंटर पे कोई प्रिंट
बची हुई है अभी तो चावल खा रहा है पूरे जितना सुन लेना
Yeah, Mr. Pawan, can we start?
Yeah, sure. Just I need confirmation whether Sushant sir has joined or not. So
Yeah.
we can start.
Here, good
Sushant
afternoon
sir-
all. I'm here.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. I'm starting meeting now. So please, I request all of you. So please put your microphones on mute. Please cooperate. So a very good afternoon and a hearty welcome to a glorious online gathering. I, Dr. Pawan, governing body member of ARAP, on the behalf of Association of Regulatory Affairs Professionals and the Indian Pharmaceutical Association, Delhi State Branch, take immense pleasure in welcome you all on the webinar Regulations in Time of Pandemic and Lessons for the Future. With due permission of Dr. Sangamesh Puranik, President, IPA, Delhi State Branch, and coordinators of this session and webinar series, Dr. Neeraj Kumar and Pradeep Verma sir. We are going to start today's session. Today, on this sixth webinar of our joint webinar series, I feel privileged to have been given the opportunity to introduce today's speaker, Mr. Sushant Sharma sir, Assistant Drugs Controller, CDSCO. Sushant sir is a B Pharma graduate and completed his master's in biochemistry, who worked in a private manufacturing firm in production from assistant manufacturing chemist and manufacturing chemist. Later on, he approved as a manufacturing chemist in injectable tablets, capsules, syrups, ophthalmic preparations by government of Punjab. He joined CDSCO as a drugs inspector in January 2009, and he was selected as the youngest drug inspector in that batch of 14 candidates. With the experience of approximately 500 various inspections and raid, he has filed many prosecutions against the accused. After his meticulous work, just in a span of 6 years, he was promoted as an assistant drugs controller, again being the youngest person to reach this that prestigious position. Also, he was selected as a team member during NRA assessment of Sri Lanka and Bangladesh by WHO Geneva, and currently is working as the assistant drug controller and posted at Bhatti, Himachal Pradesh, which is one of the largest hub of manufacturing of a pharmaceuticals. So we all are indeed fortunate to have you as our resource person. Without taking much of anybody's time, and for sake of all those who are really waiting to hear from you, including me, I request you to start today's presentation. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Pawan, for the nice introduction. I think you have gathered a very good information about me, even something I don't know. Just joking. And you know, I was the youngest one, but now I have a gray hair now. So my age is now going up. So, anyways, thank you so much. You know, first of all, I would like to give a big thanks to IPA Delhi branch and you know ARAP Association just putting a belief on me so I can deliver the lecture. I would like to thank Dr. Kalan Bajaj who have selected me so as a speaker, and Dr. Purnik, President ARAP, and Pradeep, who is a very good friend of mine, and he was a colleague of mine also, and Dr. Pawan, you, and Dr. Neeraj, Secretary, IPA branch. So you just you know make me feel privileged and proud that you know I can deliver a lecture on this topic, which is a very hot topic now, because pandemic is going on. Everybody is scared. Everybody is feeling fear. But what is going on? The Honorable Prime Minister, the Government of Ministry, even not the Indian government, the whole you know government in the world, just notice the sacrifice given by the doctors, nurses, and other paramedical staffs. So, but I think you never heard about the regulators. I'm not blaming anyone, but you know, regulators are the very key persons who are having a role for giving their, you know, duties to doing the duties behind the curtain. They are the supporting. They are the backbone of all the systems. So, if you know we are not getting any recognition from any government agencies, so don't I don't think there is any you know loss in this, but we have been recognized behind the curtain many times in the meeting. They have just pointed out our sacrifice, our seniors who are sitting in the Delhi, the DCG, Honorable DCGI, all joint secretaries sitting in the joint and controllers sitting in the Delhi. They are doing very great job over there in this pandemic situation. So if IP Delhi branch and ARAP Association is giving the opportunity for giving the lecture on this, you know, I am feeling really proud, so that I can discuss with you that what we are doing at this time and what the role of regulators, even the central government or the state government, what they have performed the duties during this pandemic, you know, time. So, you know, from upwards, I just want to start my presentation. So my presentations is on regulation in time of pandemic and lesson for the future. It's a really a paradigm shift of the regulations. So we need to learn some lessons for the future also. We need to learn some changes which is required in the regulation if we face this type of time in future also. So I'll just start my presentation. So Dr. Pawan, I think you are going to assist me for shifting this slides. So I hope you will assist me. So please do the next slide. Dr. Pawan, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
My presentation, I have just you know separate making a part of my presentation in the three parts. I have made this. Part A, which consists, I just want to give the brief introduction about the regulations, infrastructure, regulation structure, the health structure in the India. How we have the infrastructure, what is the organization, who is who, and how we are working. Then my presentation having a part B, that what we are doing in this pandemic situation, how regulatory have just decided their work, scenario in this pandemic scenario. And the third part, part C, which is a future lesson or things may be adopted, but this is maybe a policy matter, but we can, think on that. Next, please. Organization and the health infrastructure in India, based on the federal nature of the constitution. So there are the some topics which is listed in the central government list and which is listed in the state government list. So there are three lists in the constitution, that is union list, state list, and the concurrent list. So drug is in the concurrent list, meaning both state government and the central government having a right to regulate the drug at their respective areas. So some topics like public health, hospital, sanitizers are called as the state list, but drug in the concurrent list. Next, please. Okay, if you see this slide, how the very difficult, complex system of the regulations, because not only the health ministry in regulation of the drug, but the other ministries are also associated directly and indirectly for the regulations of the drug. So I have just made the slide to just give the brief introduction that the Ministry of Health, under which the DGHS, Director General of Health Services, is the department, and then under that DGHS, there is a department, Central Drug Standard Control Organization. And then Ministry of Science Technology is there, where the ICMR, which is a very enlightened department at this time. Then for the radioactive regulations, BRAC is there. Then CSIR is there. Ministry of Chemical and Petrochemicals, NPPA. Everybody knows that when there is a regulations on the price control, so NPPA comes in the picture. Department of Chemical and Petrochemicals for the availability of the drug. Department of Pharmaceuticals. Then Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Patent Office is there. The Director General of Foreign Trade is there. And then Ministry of Environment and the Forest, if there is a RDNA based product or the biologicals product. So this genetic engineering approving committee, and this is RCGM is there, and Department of Biotechnology is there. Okay, next please. So even the Ministry of Health and Family Affairs having a several department. So among all the departments, CDSU is one of the department which is headed by the Director General, which comes under the Director General of Health Services and headed by the Honorable Drug Controller General India. So our main role is to just availability of the drug with safety, with the indication of the safety, efficacy, and the quality measurements. Next, please. This is our, geographical structure, geographical locations of the CDS quarter. CDSU is having the various offices across the India. So Jammu and Kashmir, we have some subzone office. We have one subzone office. Baddi, we have subzone office. Delhi is in headquarter. Indore, Goa, Bangalore, we have subzone office. Then Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, Kolkata, Ghaziabad, Chennai is the zonal offices. We have the port offices, 13 port offices also, and the 6 central laboratories also, where we are testing the drugs after taking the samples. Next, please. So, as I already told you that there is a 2-tier system in India. So, state government is also having regulations on drug, and the central government is also having regulations on the drug. So, CLA, Central Drug Standard Control Organization, having a CLA scheme. So, Central Licensing Approving Authority, which is known as, and which is governed by the central government, and the State Licensing Authority is governed by the respective state governments. Next, please. So this is a one slide which is I just made for the functions, for briefing the functions of the CDSU. What are the functions? CDSU is giving the approval for the new drug. CDSU is giving the clinical trial permissions also, import registration, import licenses to import the drug, licenses for the CLA items like vaccines, rDNA products, blood banks. Now it is known as the blood centers, and medical devices, which is classified in C&D. Testing, new drug and testing of the new drug, and as well as the enforcement activity. Now the CDSU started the enforcement activity. Grant of test license, personal test licenses, license under the CT rules, banning of the drugs and cosmetics, and changes in the policy making is one of the also functions of the CDSU. Amendment in the Drug and Cosmetic Act and new rules and regulations if they are just going to publish. So it's a role of the CDSU. Next, please. Okay. So can you go back one slide, please? Yeah, thank you. So these are the basically functions of the state authority. State licensing authority, basically a licensing authority. They are giving the licenses to the manufacturing premises, API manufacturing premises. They are very well engaged in the enforcement activities and approving of the drug testing laboratories. The first time when the grant of the drug testing laboratory, there is an inspection, joint inspection with CDSU and the state government, but state government is issuing the licenses. Monitoring of the drug quality, investigations and the prosecutions are the main work of the states. The state government is responsible for the recall of the substandard drugs if it is not of standard quality. Report is issued by the laboratory. Next, please. Dr. Pawan, can you change the slide, please? Yeah. Okay. What is how India is working? So we have the three provisions basically: licenses, inspections, and penalties. So basically, these are the two. Firstly, you have to perform the inspections on the basis of the authorities issuing the licenses, and after the licenses, or there is a high licenses not of standard quality, so there are the penalty provisions also very well established in the act for putting the case against the accused. Next, please. So this is not the this slide. I have just made the licenses, the type of the licenses which we are, which licensing authority is issuing to the applicant, but this is not the limited. Other than these licenses, there are several NOCs also which are issued by the state licensing authority. But just to brief, I just make the important licenses over here. So licensing authority issuing the license to manufacture, for sale distribution including export, for stake sale distribution, exhibit or offer for sale, for examination, test and analysis, for private testing laboratory, for manufacture of clinical trials, for import, for sale and distribution, for import, for examination, test and analysis. So these are the important licenses which I have categorized over there. Otherwise, there is a several other NOCs also which the licensing authority is issuing to the applicant whenever they require. Next, please. Yeah. So this is basically a part A of my slide, which describe about the regulatory provisions and the structures of the Indian regulatory system. But now the part B, which is I just want to give the more focus on this during this pandemic time, how the regulator has done their work, even without taking a leave, without taking a rest. They are day and night, and for the public of the India, and every day 24 into 7 we are working. Even some people, if they not coming to the office, or they even not working to come on from the desk, they are working online from the online system from their home, but we are working 24 into 7 at this time. So basically in this pandemic situation, I just categorize the work how we have done. So we have worked for the availability of the essential drugs. So the government of India has just listed down some of the essential drugs, which is a 55 plus 96 essential drugs. 55 are the essential and 96 for the ICU management. Then availability of the specific drugs. If there is I just describe all these topics in the coming slide. So availability of the specific drug, if there is a specific drug requirement for some diabetic people, some anti-cancer drugs. So we are also working on that. Availability of the drug for the primary use for the COVID-19. So if you remember that the starting of the COVID-19, there is a requirement of the hydroxychloroquine, as published by the ICMR also after announcement of the WHO. So there is a lack of SCQ in the market. So we just started the work on the collecting the data from the market, that where the SCQ is available and where not, and wherever the SCQ is not available. So we work on the availability of the hydrochloroquine in the market. Then approval and the availability of the drug specific for the COVID-19, and then awareness to the public. We have doing this work also, and I just also want to explain over there, these are the additional work which we have performed during the pandemic time. We have our own routine work also. We have to complete our own routine work also, because we have some timeline for clearing all the applications. So we need to clear all the application within the timeline, as well as we are working this additional work also. So next, please. Okay, thank you. How we have just collecting the data? So we have identified 56 plus 96 essential drugs necessary for the ICU management. So from the retail and wholesale, all the sale premises, and every Tuesday, regularly we are just collecting the data every Tuesday and Thursday throughout the India. All the drug inspectors is going to the field and collecting the data. So we are making the chart, the name of the drug, number of the retail outlet visited, number of the outlet where the drug is available, and the quantity available, then percentage of the availability of the drug. If they want to give any remark, so they can put in the remark column whether there is a shortage of the drug, or availability is there. So these type of data is collected and then sending back to the government of India for the further assessment. If there is any shortcomings on the drug, then we just try to work on it and make we are making efforts for the availability of that particular area. Next, please. We are collecting the manufacturing level data every month. Means these essential drugs which I talked about in the last slide, we are collecting these data from the manufacturing unit also. Who are manufacturing that type of drug? What are their capacity? If they have imported any API item, they have any stock of these drugs or stock of the APIs over there, production month wise, or if they exported quantity. So we can assess the requirement of these drugs in India, stock available in India, and then work on it. Next, please. Thank you. Availability of the specific drug. These the last two slides was related to the essential drug, then the specific drug. Even from the individual level, not only the drug inspector, but the individual officers, whether the state government or central government, they are engaged for the doorstep delivery also. We are providing the drug to the individual person. From if we are getting the phone calls, or we are getting some information from any government offices that these type of drugs are required for that particular person, like anti-cancer drug and anti-hypertensive drugs, anti-snake venom, anti-diabetic. So we are trying to make the availability of the drug for the general public also. Even sometimes all the state inspectors are just coordinating with the center inspectors. So if there is a requirement to just contact with the manufacturing unit for the sending particular drug, so we are doing that also for the availability of the drug. Next, please. So availability of the drug primarily used for the COVID-19. Initially, as you know, there is a requirement of the hydroxychloroquine, then there is a usage of the azithromycin and paracetamol. So we try to just make the available of that drug, preparing the data. Every Monday, we are collecting the data for the availability of these drugs and submitting the data to the government of India. Then ICMR has changed their protocol for the management of the COVID-19. Then we just remove the azithromycin from the list, and then we are just collecting the data of hydroxychloroquine, paracetamol, methylprednisolone, enoxaparin, and dexamethasone. Every Monday we need to collect the data from the different retail shops across the India, and then required to submit the data to the government of India. Everyday verification of the hydroxychloroquine from the respective manufacturing unit also. The manufacturing unit who are just manufacturing the hydroxychloroquine, we require to take the data from the manufacturing unit, their capacity, stock position, and the API availability over there, and submitting to the government of India for the further assessment. Next, please. Okay, this is a very very difficult, very challenging, very big task for the regulators to availability of the drugs which is specifically used for the COVID-19, and we need to just heads of the Honorable Drug Controller General India, Present Drug Controller General India, Dr. Vijay Somani, who are just making their efforts for the approval of these drugs. So that the general public is not go through any panic situation and just think about that the drug is available. So we just approved new drug approval is issued for the remdesivir, and then the state controller given the license manufacturing for remdesivir. There is a new drug permission for the favipiravir also, and there is a big challenge of the vaccine manufacturing also, as we know that the phase 1 clinical trial is going on of the vaccines of the two companies, and which is near to complete the phase 1 trial. These are the big challenges, and we are focusing in this, and we are working on it day and night for the approval of the new drug. Remdesivir is approved by many companies now. Favipiravir is approved by many companies now, and there is another list of applications which want to manufacture the drug. So in near future, these right. So I just want to give some example, the methodology we just opted for the approval of the drug and this COVID-19 situation. As you know, during the approval of the favipiravir, I have put the one example. There is a manufacturing unit in the Baddi, but API unit in Ankleshwar, and that particular unit, that particular firm is having a two R&D units in the different places at Nasik and Chennai. So we need to inspect all the unit in this COVID situation and maintaining a social distance and putting a mask on the face and doing the inspection. So all these four all four premises have been inspected by the CDSO. Then the favipiravir, after inspection report, the favipiravir permission is given by the licensing authority. So, but it takes time because manufacturing unit, when these are all interconnected. When the inspection report comes from the API unit, then we plan for the manufacturing unit, then we plan for the R&D unit to reassess the connection, to make the connection between the data. So we need to check the dissolution profile, characterization of the API, impurity profile, all need to be checked by us, then the license is issued by the licensing authority. Next, please. So during for this COVID-19 kit, if I just take aware all the people that in a regular system, regular system, we have a, list of the the steps. We have the several steps like issuance of the test licenses. Just a minute. Okay, issuance of the test licenses, then evaluation report should be there of after test license they are manufacturing the test batches, then evaluation by the some renowned laboratories like ICMR Delhi, NIV Pune Delhi, then submission of the application through the Sugam portal, then scrutinization. We have the 45 days timeline for the scrutinization of the application, then issuing of the queries, then manufacturer is going to submit the query, then again scrutinization of the queries. If there is a query, then again issuing of the query or plan for the inspections. Inspection is there, then making the inspection report in 3 to 4 days. I think 7 days. 7 days is the timeline for submission of the report. Then after submission of the report, file is forwarding to the DCJ for further approval. In DCJ office also there is a scrutinization of the application, and these type of processes we are following for kits in the regular system, IVD kits. But in pandemic situation, we have just relaxed the processes. We are issuing the test licenses, then submission of the application, scrutinization of the application within 3 to 4 days. Then parallel inspection, scrutinization is going on the file, but we are doing the parallel inspection so that we can jump to one process and just complete the processes. And if there is any observations is there, we just giving the observation within the day, in the same day in the evening to the firm just to submit the CAPA. After submission of the CAPA and submission of the query response, if there is any during scrutinization of the file, if there is any query, then both compile with the application and forwarding to the DCJ for further approval. So from 45 days for the scrutinization, we are scrutinizing the file into 3 to 4 days at this time. Next, please. Hello, Dr. Pawan.
Yes, sir.
I'm not able to see the actually slide on my phone.
1 second, sir. Neeraj, sir, are you sharing, right?
That is visible.
Only these slides, sir. Extra steps taken. This one?
No, it's a examples of IVD kits COVID-19.
No, it is visible.
1 second. Neeraj, sir, can you go back? Yeah. Next one. This examples. I think he's saying previous one, the examples of that 2 arrows. Previous one.
You people are even seeing the seeing the slide, are able
Yes,
to see the slide.
Yes.
Is it okay?
Yes.
It is
I
okay.
can manage from my laptop. That's okay. Can we continue that?
Yes, sir. I think because of mobile link, it's not coming.
You can ask any of the participant if they are able to see the slide.
Yeah, I think can anyone confirm?
You can see when we kill the circular to SLA for upcoming sanitary
Yeah, I am.
application. We can.
Hello, Dr. Pawan.
Dr. Pawan? So we can see able to see the extra step.
Yeah,
Yeah, no
Sushant,
issues, sir.
your skin is
Sushant, sir.
visible.
Okay, we are getting the reply yes in the chat box, so we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
continue that. I think so. Can we continue that?
Yes, yes, sir.
So shall we start with the slide awareness to the public?
Uh, yeah, okay, okay.
Right.
So just 1 second, I will mute all the people. Please take care
Sure,
about
sure.
your microphones. I request you all participants. Yeah,
Yeah.
over to you, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So it's an awareness to the public slide, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So awareness to the public in any medium. So as a
Yeah.
regulator, we have some responsibility to the public, to the society also. Not only just doing the work on the AC rooms and chair and table. We need to be aware the public also. So in any medium, we try to aware the public. If there is a circulars or the notification issued by the honorable DCJ also, whenever required, the just go ahead and aware the public to use the sanitizer, just use the mask, and you need to be clean your hand every time by the soap. So these type of awareness whenever we require at any means, so we try to do that. Next please. So this is an extra step taken. So all after all these regulators work, the extra step which are taken by the CDSU as well as the state licensing authority. So I just want to cover on in this slide and want to discuss about this. So there is a circular issue to the SLA by the Honorable Drug Controller General India, that for the sanitizer application you need to clear all the application within 3 days. Try to clear all the application, because there is a processes of the clearing the application for the new manufacturers. If manufacturing is submitting the application, it should be scrutinized, then queries, and then inspections and all that. But these all steps to be relaxed and required to be given the approval to this for the sanitizer within 3 days. Then there is a circular for the registration of the PP kits manufacturer. There is a lot of complaint from the market that the substandard quality of the PP kits are not in good quality of the PP kits available in the market. So this step is taken for the register of the PP kit, so that we can understand how many manufacturers there. So we can assess availability of the PP kit in the market, good quality of PP kit in the market. So then sampling of the sanitizer in the high level check. So all the state drug controller as well as the central drug controller are just move into the market in this pandemic situation, and then taking the samples, and checking, and we find some substandard quality of the sanitizer also. So we are going to take the action against them. Speedy approval of the regulatory procedure for the drug, including the IVD kits related to the COVID-19, as I already explained in my example, that for the COVID-19 kits is available. So we are just speedy approval for this. Now the list is available on the CDSU website, that how many rapid kit as well as the kits, the RT-PCR based kits are available, has been approved and licensed by the Central Licensing Authority. Then online system of the file procedure, we are just total now online. If the application is coming through the email also, we are just accepting that application. No hard copy submission, no paperwork is required. So if there is any communication through email, we can do. Online system is there of many of the processes have been converted into online. Some of the processes were left behind, but now this online system has started, like dual use NOC and the CT NOC applications. So this is all the online procedures. Then a relaxation in the submission of the notarized or apostille document, like for the import of the drug, there is a lot of documents is required in the hard copy, which should be notarized or apostille by the embassy. So we have relaxed that. No, sometime there is an undertaking in the legal stamp paper, but some applicant or some stakeholder has requested that there is no availability of the legal stamp paper as because of the lockdown. So we have relaxed that step also. Next slide, please. Then online DCC meeting was conducted, and I got the information that the online DTAB meeting is also going to be conducted. So this is a great step that we have not stopped our work for new regulations policy making. So we are doing through the online system. Cases are filed through the online system. The court is also online, so we are just filing the cases through email, and all the honorable judges are accepting that and giving the date to the video conferencing if there is any important case or any emergency cases. So this type of activity is also going on, and there is a API scheme, that production link incentive schemes by the government of India. So we, for manufacturing of the APIs, key starting material or any intermediate, there is a medical device park scheme also. This is a new notification has come on 21st July. So these type of extra steps we have taken in the COVID-19 pandemic shift. So this is the last part of my slide, and part C, that is a future lesson. Dr. Pavan, just change the slide to the next, because I am not able to see the slide on my screen. So I'm just requesting you.
Yes, sir. It's yeah.
Part
No
C,
issue.
it's a future lesson, because due to this total paradigm shift due to the COVID-19, everything is locked down. Even the academic is locked down. Classes is going online. All the businesses are going online. So where are the regulator? Regulator also should think about the changes at this time. This is the time required for the changes. Now we have to think about the adaptation of the online system, virtual things, a virtual thing. For example, the speedy approvals, which require the changes in the methodology. Speedy approval is required, as there is a rule for the drug approval for in the time of the outbreak pandemic, but need to be a complete guideline. There need to be regulate that particular processes. So Honorable DCJ has already issued the draft notification for the compassionate use on 5th June 2020, but need to be finalized in speedy form, and then there should be there is a need of the change in the inspection process also. MHRA and US FDA has already issued the guideline for the inspection processes. So virtual inspection can be done if the regulator is not able to go over there for the inspection. So through video conferencing, through desk review, robust desk review, or also adopt the risk-based approach that depend upon the type of the application, type of the product, type of the premises, whether the multi-drug, manufacturing is there, or the single drug manufacturing is there, or the type of the product is manufacturing biologicals or anti-cancers or the antibiotics is manufacturing. So the type of the risk-based approach we can now adopt. It's a time to required to adopt these type of things in the inspection procedures also. Then in licensing procedure, we need to change the licensing processes. The online system should require to be uniformly implemented in across the India, because some states are not using the online system, some states are using the online system. So this is a time to use the online system, so that there is a less contact of the public, coming to the office, and we can, if we are not ensure about the premises, or if we are not ensure or doubt anything about the applicant, we can give the quantity based licenses. The little quantity we can do. We can also can give the conditional approval. Sometimes we are also issuing the conditional approval. So in this pandemic situation, we can give the rather than just stopping the work, we can do the conditional approval. So these type of changes we can adopt this pandemic during this pandemic situation also, and we in future also we can just changes our regulations. So in the last slide, I just want to stop my presentation with this quote: इस दुनिया में कुछ भी करना असंभव नहीं है. हम वो सब कर सकते हैं जो हम सोच सकते हैं, और हम वो सब सोच सकते हैं जो हमने अभी तक सोचा ही नहीं. So we need to work together. Hand-holding policy should be there. Need to changes. You need to adopt the relaxation in our procedures. All the orthodox policies, orthodox system need to vanish. Thank you so much for your concentration for listening this presentation. Thank you so much. If there is any question, please, it is.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. So I request to all participants, if you have any questions, please put it in chat box. So I will convey to the sir. Yeah, already there are a few questions. Question from, if we want to import sanitizer, what will be the process? And what will be the process for import of sanitizer? Okay, Ishali Sharma wants to know.
Okay, this is the typical, questions you're asking for the regulator. But all the guidelines is available on the website. So you need to be registered at a particular site and then need to take the import licenses. So all the guideline is already available. It's as simple the drug for the drug for any drug molecule you are following. The same step is following for the sanitizer.
Okay, one more question is related to timeline again. In how many days the COVID-related products file submitted via CDSCO portal will get approved? Timeline for product apps in pandemic
How many
issues.
days the
Yeah,
COVID-related product?
the product file submitted.
Actually, the days is not decided, but every half an hour, every hour, we are just clearing the files. So don't think about the days at this time. If you want to take the approval, the drug related to the COVID-19, just file the applications, and we are approving all the files related to the COVID-19 drug as soon as possible. If we have a 50 files in our portals, but there is a 30, 20, 25 files for the COVID-19 drug, so we are giving the preference to that particular files.
Okay.
Yeah, next please.
Okay, in this pandemic. Yeah, one question is there in this pandemic case, if any query is received from DCGI while submitting FDC or phase trial, any option to respond on mail?
Yeah, we
Respond
are.
on yeah.
Yes, we are giving the queries to the mail, and you can respond the queries, reply the queries through the mail itself. I already told you that the email system we have already adopted that.
Yeah, the person is asking should be sent only by through courier or email. Okay, I think he got answer. When can we expect COVID vaccine tentatively? Yeah, it's an interesting question.
I was expecting that. That's
Yeah.
a good one. Nobody can comment, but phase 1 clinical trial is going on, so we need to just wait a little more. So all the phases need to be clear, because the vaccine is an indigenous vaccine, so it required to go through all the phases, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and everybody knows that. But what time is taking by the regulator for clearing the file, but at this time we are giving the preference to the vaccines specific for the COVID-19. So I think it takes more I think 6 months, but I cannot comment on that, but it takes time.
Yeah, next question is there any action plan for unregistered sanitizers available in the market companies?
Yeah, we are taking, we have, some of the state drug controller, we got the information that they have just find out the unlicensed premises. Maharashtra state drug controller is doing very good. Telangana state controller also find some unlicensed premises over there. Haryana have find many sanitizer manufacturing unit which are unlicensed. So they are going to take the action definitely, because it's an unlicensed for the manufacturing of the sanitizer, you need license.
Yeah, one more question from Vaishali. If we want to repack the imported finished formulations in India, we have to take repacking license from SLA.
Yes. you need to be take the repacking license from the SLA. It's not the repacking license, but it's a manufacturing licenses. But you need to take the NOCs from the CDSU also under Rule 37. If it is a naked wireless you are importing, and you need to take the NOCs from the CDSU.
You'll find some IODEX as well.
Yeah. One more question is
The Wakiana started very
okay. So we have one more question. Like weekly data collection for various drugs, do we have a end user data collection for favipiravir and remdesivir?
Because favipiravir and remdesivir is newly just introduced in the market, and only 3 to 4 manufacturing unit having approval of it. So we already have a data. So they have just started that. So when they are just regularly commercialize that, and many of other companies is come into the market, then we will collect the data of the favipiravir and remdesivir. But now we have no direction to collect the data of the favipiravir and remdesivir at this time.
Yeah. Next one. What is the timeline for import and marketing permission with registration of COVID-19 drug?
What is the timeline? I
Give-
already told you.
Yeah.
Already actually explained that. So
Yeah.
we are giving the preference to the files related to the COVID-19 drugs.
Yeah, one interesting question is there. I think it's from student. With the rising tension between India and China, how will this affect drug manufacturing in the country? Because he's saying he read it in an article that we do import some raw material from China, and which drug would be the most affected?
Yes, that's a very good question. We are not importing some raw material from the China. We are importing maximum raw material from the China.
Sir, unable to hear you.
Yeah. Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Go. Yeah.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah.
Sir.
So we are not importing some raw material. We are importing maximum raw material from the China. So if there is a tension between the China and Indian relationship, whether you think that the China will spoil their business, if we are importing the raw material from the China, so we are also a good market for the China to sending the material over the here. Second thing, if you think like that, if there is a problem in importing the material, so that there may be the lack of the drug in the market in India. So in one of the slide I have put that there is a incentive schemes the government of India is going to be start for manufacturing the API and key starting material. Notification has already been issued in 21st July. So we are thinking on that also. The government of India is thinking on that. All the expert, in the committee members, they are just talking to the stakeholder also. Some of the state has already been identified, and they have the land has already been identified. So working on it. So if we will able to start this, able to implement this scheme. So I think then there is no problem for China or also for the India to have this key starting material and the raw material, and we can make our indigenous APIs.
Yeah. Next question is, sir, for Ayurvedic, what is the procedure during this COVID-19?
For Ayurvedic, actually, I am not the right person. If you can ask these questions to the, Ministry of Ayush, so it will be the better one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, one more question. Recently, read news that FDA has banned the sanitizers of ethyl alcohol due to blindness. Any step forward or action plan to check this kind of sanitizers of licensed or unlicensed manufacturing unit not using 70% IP?
No, actually, there is a formula that the manufacturing using the IPA as well as the ethyl alcohol. So there is a approved formula by the central government also. If there is any complaint, if anybody has read this, the FDA has banned that, then we need to take the necessary step, because all the sanitizer have been issued by the rigorous meeting and rigorous approvals by the subject expert committee. So all this FDCs, IP, so I don't think so there is any order or any issues related to these sanitizers
One
at this
more
time.
question. Yeah, okay. If product available in IP 2018 and not found in CDSCO approved product list, please clarify product approved or not.
Yeah, if it is not approved by the CDSU and present in the IP, then it comes under the new drug.
So I think questions are questions are there. Or 1 second. Yeah, one more interesting question, sir. Recently, news for a new vaccine will going to launch in August. Is it correct?
I have not given the commitment.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. Okay, August will be the right time to launch the vaccines, because as far as I know that phase one clinical trial is going on at this time.
Yeah, right. One more question. What is the current status of API park proposed by June 2020? Notification by Government of India, and when can India
Yes, actually, notification has already been issued. I told you that in 21st July, they have issued the notification. So it is available on the website also. So committee is working on it, and I think states are also very active on this. And let's see who will get this incentive plans, which state they are going to be implemented. So this need to be seen. They have just listed out some products. There is a list of products also. In notification, they have put the list of the products. So particular list, that is an incentive plan. So you can go through that particular notification, you get the information.
I think he continued his question. Incentive link plan from Government of India to promote KSM API medical devices is mainly supporting big market players only. There is no clause or scheme to support small players to promote the growth of startup culture. Maybe that will lead to bigger manufacture in this.
That is a complaint, not the question.
Yeah. I'm saying,
Right.
yeah. Okay. Many people are appreciating this presentation and
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
okay. Yeah.
I think there is one question that whether the sale license is required for the sanitizer or not. I don't think so, because CDSO has already issued the advisory that there is no requirement of the sale license for the sanitizer, and they are taking it as a disinfectant at the Schedule K, 0.12 or Schedule K, considering as a disinfectant. So there is no requirement for the sale license for the sanitizer.
Yeah. Manufacturing.
I have to think and decide.
Sorry. Okay. Can I take next question, sir?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Does government marked any zones for the manufacturing and export of made in India medical equipments? Besides APIs, medical instrumentation and healthcare equipments is a very important sector. India can see great potential at present. Many medical equipments are either China or Europe or foreign. Kindly let me know urban government future schemes. Actually, it's a very broad question. It's asking for government future schemes for medical devices.
For medical devices, equipment import.
Medical
I think so.
manufacturing. Yeah, does government mark any zones for the manufacturing and export of made in India medical equipments? Besides, yeah.
At this time, government policy, I can't say on this. I cannot comment on this. What is the government policy on this? As far as the regulation is required, I can comment on this. But the government policy, I need to then consult with the higher authority to the government for this question. So I cannot comment on this.
Okay, one more question. Difference in MD12 and MD16.
MD12 is the application basically for the test license, and MD16 is the application for the license to import the medical device for the purpose of clinical investigation or evaluation. Both are different.
Again, one question is related to vaccine. If vaccine,
Sorry, Pavan. It is a half the thing. Top, I have typed some more thing. If I will ask that question, if vaccines are approved in other countries, how much time we will take to approve them in India? Again, should the phase 3 done in India for these vaccines if approved from other country?
Yeah, it depends actually. If the vaccine is approved in the developed country like US and Canada and other developed countries, Europe. So I think there is one circular by the Honorable DCGI that the vaccine can be approved directly into the India after the approval by the subject expert committee meeting. So what the situation they will work as a in the pandemic, it required to be seen if this type of approval we got, and otherwise if the vaccine is approved in that particular country from where it is originated, then the phase 3 clinical trial is mandatory in India.
Okay.
This is the regulatory system.
Okay,
Right.
so it can be approved. I mean that will be approved.
It can be depend upon the subject expert committee comment.
Okay. Thank you.
yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, one
Thank
more
you.
question is asking your thoughts. Vaccine trials are conducted in volunteers and collecting data in 3 and 6 months. How much it is reliable? So he's
Sorry,
asking your thoughts on this.
vaccine. Sorry, can you repeat that? Vaccine.
Vaccine trials are conducted in volunteers and collecting data in 3 and 6 months. So he's asking how much it is reliable.
It depends upon the
I
protocol.
think
how
the
protocol is
question,
designed. It's I think a hypothetical question. It depends upon the protocol, how the protocol is designed. Whether they are going to sample take the sample of the volunteer in the 0 day or after how many days after injection of the injecting the vaccine. So it depends upon the protocol. So we need to see the protocol design. If there is a violation of the protocol, it not be accepted by the right.
Yeah, one more question. Why different authorities issuing license for sanitizers like Ayurvedic, cosmetic and drug license sanitizer available? However, everyone is using same or similar formula, which is drug. Ideally, drug authority only issues license. So
Actually, there is a different departments. The Ayurvedic department, their own regulations and their own methodology. Cosmetic and drug, we are controlling that. So this need to be uniform. Very good question. The person has asked that we need to uniform the policies of giving the sanitizers approval. So we need to debate on this. But during this pandemic situation, the availability of the sanitizer is the more important. The good quality of availability of the sanitizer is the more important. So we are focusing on that at this time.
yeah, one more question is there. Interesting question. Does the CDSCO plan to take any action on unverified claims by different people that their innovation can cure COVID?
CDSU has issued show cause notice. CDSU has already issued many company show cause notice for the claiming of that. recently, I think I should not take the name at this time because in this platform, it can be advertised. Some of the cosmetic company, they got the show cause notice from the Honorable DCJs for claiming that particular cosmetic product for the against the coronavirus fighting. So already issued the show cause notice.
Yeah, thank you. I think there are only last two questions. How small manufacturing groups could start API manufacturing startup, and how government will support small industries? Please elaborate.
Yes, I already told that notification has already come in the market. You need to make the project. It depends. You are going to open the API plant alone or with in collaboration with some partners. This is depend upon the project. You need to submit the project. The project will be verified the government, and then you will get the land allocation and all the other provisions which is mentioned in the notification. So firstly, you need to work on the project, how you are going to, which molecule you are going to make, and what will be your budget, and then premises structure, premises infrastructure, and all. Firstly, just need to make the project and submit to the board.
Yeah, thank you. And one more question. After performing test and analysis in SEZ manufacturing site, if transfer drug material from SEZ to another manufacturing site in India itself, any import permission is required. So I need to check.
If the premises is in the SEZ, then they are going to transfer the material to the another site of the India. For API, if they are talking about, then there is some, I think, relaxation in the taxes in the SEZ. So they have to be, provide all the taxes, because SEZ is meant for the export purpose only. So they cannot sail out to the Indian territory. If they are going to sail out, so they have to pay all the taxes and all that. There is a formality to selling out in the India. And if we're talking about the formulation, the same procedure they have to follow that.
Yeah, one more question. Does CDSU has control over prices on COVID drugs, especially favipiravir and remdesivir? They are too expensive.
NPPA has that. And
Yeah. So already the notification is there.
yeah, already actually, already it is the news actually. The show cause notice has already been issued to the Glenmark for this issue.
Yeah, one more question is there. Is CDSU going to issue guideline to face mask manufacturing as a mask is categorized as PPE?
Yes, absolutely. They need to be actually CDSU need to issue this guideline. This is a very good question, right question, because if you are thinking about the new notification for the medical devices, so we need to make this some guideline for the PPE and PPE kit and the mask.
Yeah, one more question for a time. How much time is taken into consideration for approving project for API manufacturing startup?
How much time?
Yeah.
Time I can't say, because it's a committee. Now the notification is there. The committee is regularly taking the meetings with the stakeholders. And I think in the government policy it takes little time, but for the API plant, even the Honorable Prime Minister office is also taking the follow up. So in short period of time you will get the result.
And one more interesting question, sir. Has any showcase notice been issued to Patanjali for its unverified claims?
Patanjali comes under the Ministry of Ayush, basically.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's very good and nice question. Thank you so much. Thank you, audience.
I think questions are over. So I would like to request both the president to say few words. Neeraj sir, can you ask to Clark sir?
Yeah, 1 minute.
Yeah. Check whether he's.
So I will
Thank
check.
you so much, all the participants, for joining us. Sorry for the inconvenience occurred.
Wonderful presentation. thank you for the wonderful presentation, and you have answered our almost all our participants' questions, and almost all the audience are very happy about the presentation. And thank you very much for your presentation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sangamesh sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I would
Thank
like
you,
to
sir.
request Mr. Kalan Bajaj sir to say few words.
Everyone, Sushant Sharma ji gave a detailed. Sushant Sharma ji, Assistant Drugs Controller India CDSCO, he gave a detailed outline of the Indian drug regulatory system and Ministry of Health and Family Welfare with respect to CDSCO and its functions. He also discussed availability of essential drugs, availability of specific drugs like anti-cancer, anti-hypertensive drugs, etc. Availability of drugs, primary use of COVID-19, approval and availability of drugs for COVID-19, awareness to the public and future lessons with respect to adaptation of online system or virtual system in the CDSCO. If they do this, it will be a really boon for the common public, for the people applying for all the for applying there in the CDSCO. The topic was rightly highlighted and was very well summarized by Sushant Sharma ji. In the end, I just would like to say that Sushant ji is right that doctors, nurses, and paramedics have been mentioned as COVID-19 warriors, but pharmacists in general and drug regulatory in particular have not been recognized due to the fact that pharmacists generally work, as Sushantji said, at back end or behind the curtain. But the time has come that the government and all those at the helm of affairs need to recognize pharmacists as frontline warriors against COVID-19. It is as simple as that. If there are no pharmacists, then you don't get any drugs. So therefore, they are the backbone of the system. With this note, I would like to thank all for listening patiently to the presentation, which is the 6th webinar in the series being jointly organized by IPA Delhi State Branch and ARAB. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank you,
so
sir.
much, sir. Yeah, Pradeep sir is there. Hello. Yeah, I would like to request our coordinator, Mr. Pradeep Kumar Verma, to say few words. I think he left meeting. Yeah, okay. I think he's not online. Thank you. Must say thanks to all participants, and I'm really very sorry for the inconvenience occurred due to the talk of sir because of noise. So I think I would like to request Dr. Neeraj for concluding remarks.
Yeah, thank you, Pawan. And thank you, Sushant sir and Mr. Pardeep to arranging in this wonderful seminar. And Sushant sir, I am again thankful to you to give a wonderful presentation today. So it's one of the excellent presentation we have in current scenario. So this is a well done presentation, and you also be familiar with the what are the cities coding in a current pandemic situation, and how they are minimize the workload to the manufacturer distributor in this pandemic situation by opting the online procedure. So. So it's an excellent presentation, and after that, I invite Mr. Pradeep. Pradeep ji, are you online?
Yeah, I am
think,
online.
Yeah,
okay.
Pradeep ji,
I am online.
closing remark to you, please.
Okay.
Hello? I'm audible?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Hold on, sir. Your voice is not coming. Yes, sir. Yeah, I think your voice is not coming. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pradeep, your voice is not coming. Yeah, now you are audible.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks, Dr. Pawan. I would like to especially thanks to our speaker, Mr. Sushant sir, Assistant Controller, Swedish Zonal Office, Baddi, to deliberate presentation at this forum, which is very useful for us. Hope our team and participant have enjoyed lot of and learned lot of. And also thanks to our both President, Vice President, ARP and IPA team member who has well organized webinar. Especially thanks to all participants on the behalf of our association. And I all participants please join us continuously in every week at 2:30 p.m. We will provide the soft copy presentation through the mail and other social platforms. Thank you, sir. Thanks for attention. Now may I request to Pawan, please continue.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So many people have asked already regarding the presentation and certificates. So already Dr. Neeraj have provided the Google form in chat box. I hope you have filled the form. If not, then please copy that link and please fill that form so we can share certificate and presentation also. We will try to put this video on YouTube also, so you will get that recording over there.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you, Pawan.
MPL 100 किसका
yeah,
है?
yeah.
एक second.
Yeah, thank you, Pawan.
Yeah.
So, as mentioned by Dr. Pawan, we already share a feedback form for this webinar and also share the registration form for the e-certification. So, after that, we are coming to the closing session. Here, I invite our immediate past president, Dr. Naresh Sharma ji, for a closing. Naresh Sharma ji, are you available? Ji, please unmute Naresh
Yeah,
Sharma, sir.
just 1 minute.
Pawan, you are muted.
MPLC.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone, and this is really a wonderful session. First of all, I would like to congratulate Neeraj, Secretary of IPA Delhi branch, and our present President Kalan Bajaj for taking the initiative to shake a hand with this Arab. I was not aware about that wonderful sessions series were going on, though I was looking in the Farmer Times, and I thought that sometime if I get time, then I will definitely see that what type of the activities are going on. And I really appreciate the initiative taken by Arab, the office bearers of Arab. I really congratulate that part. And today's presentation was delivered nicely, citing the various aspects on the regulatory as well as during pandemic, the efforts of Government of India, including the CDSCO, and the question that were asked by the participant were well answered. And we are really very happy that Sushant Sharma, who is Executive Council member of IPA Delhi branch, has been elevated to Chairman Industry Pharmacy Division. And the Industry Pharmacy Division is in the right hand under the dynamic leadership of Kalan Bajaj ji. So with these remarks, I pay big thanks to Arab and congratulate IPA for such a great initiative. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
So,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
For such a wonderful presentation. By this, I invite Shushanji for their closing remarks. Shushanji, please.
Thank you, Dr. Neeraj. Thank you, Naresh sir, for the addressing the nice and noting the right about me, and thank you the IPA Delhi branch. Thank you ARIP Association to giving this opportunity for addressing the work which is performed by the regulator at this pandemic time We are, really warriors and working behind the button. And thank you, the audience who are just listening with the concentration and asking the good and nice questions. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Shushanji. And so by this, I again request all audience to the feedback form and the registration form for e-certificate. And by this, we come to end of the today's webinar. Over to you, Pawan.
Yeah. Thank you for joining all the participants. We will meet again next Saturday. Most probably we are having an international webinar next Saturday. So the information regarding this we will provide it on social media and through WhatsApp and emails. So stay tuned. We will give information shortly. Thank you once again. I want to thank Mr. Sushant Sharma sir, both the presidents and our coordinator, Dr.
Can please tell where is the feedback form?
Pradeep Kumar Verma sir and Neeraj sir for joining with us. So as a host, I announce this meeting is over. So now you can leave this meeting. I request Dr. Neeraj, now you are host, now you can end this meeting. See you next time. Thank you once again for joining with us.
Thank you, everyone. Now, yeah, please.
Feedback form.
Okay, feedback form. Feedback. We already share on chat window. Again, we are sharing the feedback form for you. 1 minute, sir.
Sharing feedback form. Okay.
Hi, Dr. Pavan. After filling the feedback form, we will get the e-certificate and the presentation.
Yeah, for e-certificate, I think we have provided one more form during that question answer session. If you
Okay,
have
but
not,
I did not, because I joined late. So
Okay,
can
okay.
you?
Yeah, sure.
Sharing the both links. Soon.
Because I need that presentation as well. It was very nice.
Beginning, I'm
actually.
attending.
Yeah, you will get presentation also.
Chat window पे दोनों से
Fill the feedback form. How can we get certificate, sir?
You will get a certificate within a week.
So is it only feedback form
Sir.
that I require to submit, or any other form I require to submit for the certificate?
You have to submit the registration form as well. That is already mentioned.
Okay, can you share that registration form so that?
Yes.
Can you guys just share the registration?
Sir, I'm unable to get the feedback form.
Can anyone just post the
Neeraj sir, are you sending the
I already shared the feedback form in chat.
registration form also, right? Yeah.
Again, I am sending to the
feedback.
भी लिंक आया था उसमें लिंक आया था लिंक आया
So now you have two links there for registration and feedback also. Just copy it on clipboard, then you can fill it.
No, registration, if I open that last link, Dr. Pavan, it is going to feedback.
One second, I will recheck with Dr. Neeraj.
Okay, please. Because it's going for feedback. I don't see any registration link.
One second.
Link is navigating to feedback form. We are not able to fill the registration form. Can you go ahead and
I think both are same.
लास्ट वाला कौन सा भेजा है?
Yeah, both are same.
Can you see the form link shared by the Naveen Gautam for registration form?
ठीक है सर.
Dr. Pavan, sorry, can I have the URL of that registration form? URL?
Yeah. Can you open the last link? It's for the registration form. Am I audible to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, please fill this registration form or your e-certificate.
It is only feedback because when I open this link, it is saying that
Dr.
webinar feedback form.
Both are same, I think. Both
Yeah.
feedback form.
Oh.
No, this last form is a registration form. You just open on this. You have to.
No, actually, the link is navigating to feedback form. It's not a registration form. Sorry.
It's opening the registration form. It's reflecting there.
Yeah, let us try once again. Sorry, sir.
ईमेल खोल भेजा तुमने ईमेल तो कॉपी किया
That's an email.
Okay. You have pasted some email link.
ईमेल आ रहा है ईमेल कौन भेजना है
Yeah, it's working well, ma'am. It's a registration form only. Last one, Dr. Neeraj have said this one. 1 second, I will. I think you have sent privately.
Yeah.
I think. 1 second.
Yeah, great. I got it.
तो वो मेल आ रहा है
Got it, great.
Yeah, check it again.
So once we fill this, we get e-certificate as well as PPT, right? Presentation also.
Yeah.
बोल रहा हूँ सर.
Okay.
बोल रहा हूँ सर.
Sure.
Thank you, Dr. Pawan. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
मैं
Just
ऑनलाइन
fill
हूँ.
this
मैं
form,
अभी
we'll
ऑनलाइन हूँ.
provide
मैं
you.
अभी आपको करता हूँ ना कॉल.
Thank you for joining with us.
Thank you.
नहीं अभी मेरा चल रहा है ना.
Yeah, Neeraj sir, we can end this meeting.
Yes, we are going to end this meeting and request all participants to fill the registration form as well as feedback form. So by this we are ending the meeting for all. Thank you for attending.
Can you share the schedule? Yeah, definitely you will get. It's not scheduled for 2-3 weeks. We have just scheduled next session. You will get all information through social media and you will get information through many WhatsApp groups also. Just search hashtag ARAP IPA or follow any account of ARAP or IPA. You will get the information regarding the next sessions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you everyone for attending.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.